Hey.
Hey.
How are you doing tonight?
A little drunk.
That's the point of this place, right?
I guess so.
You mind if I talk to you?
That's the point of this place, right?
I guess. Hey man, another of, whatever the lady's having and another Bacardi 151.
Show off.
What are you talking about?
Nobody drinks Bacardi 151 except to show off.
I like Bacardi 151.
Nah, you're just trying to impress me with your superhuman feats. Show off.
Well, are you impressed?
We'll see. Depends on whether you wind up rolling around on the floor and puking.
Been known to happen. Thanks.
Thanks.
So, what's your name?
Wendy. You're not old enough to be in this bar, I don't think.
Me and the bartender have kind of a don't ask, don't tell thing going on.
Alright. Besides, when I was your age, it was legal to buy alcohol in the state of Louisiana at 18, so he kind of hypocritical of me to squeal on.
There you go. Anyway, I'm so used to drinking now, it'd be silly to stop me for being underage. I spent the summer working in an oil rig out in Texas. We'd work long shifts and get wasted.
Oil rig, huh? Pays pretty good, I bet.
Oh yeah, and I can do it seasonally. Like, I just worked there for the summer, but I made enough to live on for the whole school year.
You're in school.
I'm going to start over at Louisiana Tech. I didn't go last year after high school because, I don't know. But now I figure I may as well.
You may as well.
Ain't you gonna ask me my name?
I already know it. Leslie.
How did you... First of all, I go by Mark.
Your first name is Leslie.
Nobody calls me that except my mom and dad. For real, how'd you know that?
What's wrong with Leslie?
It's a girl's name is what's wrong with it.
Well, boys can be named Leslie.
Yeah, but it's not a good idea. How did you know my name was Leslie?
You look like a Leslie.
Oh, all right now.
Hey, don't get offended. Anyhow, I'm the one who should be offended because we've met before and you don't seem to remember.
You know, I thought you did seem kind of familiar.
Oh, now he says so.
No, I really did think that, but dimly familiar. Come on, where'd we meet?
I've probably changed a lot, but you still look the same. Same bright face.
Wendy, your face looks familiar, but I don't remember ever knowing a Wendy.
I bet if I told you my last name, it'd come right back to you.
Well, tell me your last name then.
I don't know. I worry it might ruin this nice little conversation we're having, make things awkward.
Why would it freak me out to know your last name? Are you a famous axe murderer or something?
Freakier. You know, I've thought about you every once in a while. It's amazing how you've changed. Because all through those years, you were probably the sweetest and most good-natured of all.
What? Okay, come on. How do you know me?
My last name is Singleton.
Singleton.
No?
Wait a minute. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I'm sitting up in here trying to pick up my kindergarten t-shirt. Holy shit! And you remembered me. I mean, how the fuck did you remember me?
I was a good teacher back then. And yours was my very first class, and like I said, you were a very sweet, good-natured little boy. And you haven't really changed. I can recognize your eyes, your mouth.
Well, holy shit. You still a teacher?
Oh no, I quit. I work at the Citgo now.
Oh, I've been to that gas station. I don't remember seeing you.
I work the night shift.
How come you quit teaching?
Oh, I guess the truth is I just lost patience with the kids. I mean, I know they're just children, but still, the way they act. They're like vicious little pack animals. I mean, you get one of them alone and talk to him mean, he'll just about pee himself. But oh, they sure are brave, and there's a whole gang of them around someone littler. I just couldn't handle it anymore. My husband that I married when I was 17, well, he never hit me or anything, but he would be just so mean. And when his buddies came over, he'd make jokes about me to them right in front of me, and they'd laugh. Sometimes one of them would kind of shrug and say, "Oh, come on now, Bill," but none of them would ever really do anything about it. And after I got divorced, it was the same thing. Dated a bunch of men who treated me like garbage, even though none of them actually had the balls to hit me. They were all just vicious little childish cowards. And then I go to school, and I look at those boys, and I couldn't stand them. They all seemed like little monsters to me, except for the occasional one, like you. I remember you were always kind of innocent.
Innocent?
Yeah, I remember one time when these older boys, 7 or 8 years old, ganged up on this kindergartner. It was this little 5-year-old Asian boy. He had something wrong with his mouth, made him talk funny. I think he might have been a little retarded.
I remember that kid, I think. Man, I haven't thought about him in forever.
Well, those older boys pinned him up against a wall, slapped, kicked at him, laughed at him. They didn't really hurt him, just scared him. Me and another teacher had to break it up, but then I found you sitting alone on the swing set. You were crying over how mean those big kids had been to that boy, because you couldn't help.
I don't remember that.
I remember it.
I know what you mean, I guess. About guys. I didn't always get along with other boys at school. But now it's different. I'm a man now. I like working on the rig. I like being around other men. I don't mean anything gay. Well, I don't.
I'm not gonna think you're gay just because you're not a bitter old man hater like me.
But I like women too.
Well, that's probably healthy.
Women are more... Guys, things are more fun, simple, and kind of rough. Like at the rig, you wake up in the middle of the night because one of your bunkmates has snuck a hooker in and they're having a big screaming fight. That's the kind of thing that happens when you're with guys.
I always suspected that's what guys are up to.
But with girls, with women, things are more... they're more...
What are they?
Oh, this is weird, man.
What's weird?
This, talking to you like this.
Like what?
You know.
We're just having a conversation in a bar, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we were gonna...
Oh, I guess you were expecting something to happen.
No, I just meant it was weird running into you like this in a bar this way.
Why is that weird?
Because I don't know, because I never thought of you as like drinking and doing stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, sure, really.
So when you say you're not expecting anything to happen, you mean it never occurred to you that anything might happen? Or that it did occur to you and you're worried you don't have the guts?
Guts? Hey, come on, Wendy, people are looking.
Who gives a fuck?
It's weird.
What are you afraid of?
Hey, I'm not afraid of anything, okay? Maybe you're just a little old.
Ah, okay.
Look, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not old, you dumb teenager. I'm like 37.
Well, I'm 19.
Well, you didn't think I was too old enough to walk up to 5 minutes ago.
Well, the light in here is dim.
Oh, so now that you're all up close and personal, you can see what a withered old crone I am.
No. Actually, no, you're really good looking up close. You're beautiful, actually. It's just... it's weird.
Little vicious pack animals. Little cowards. You know, I hit a kid once.
How come you quit teaching?
Oh, I didn't get fired or anything, if that's what you mean. No one knew. I just lost my temper and I slapped this little boy, this kindergartner. wasn't hard enough to leave a mark because even as I hit him, I was pulling back, you know what I mean? So it wound up being just a little smack across the cheek. We were alone. I'd held him after the class had gone to recess. I couldn't believe I'd hit him. But as soon as I did it, I told him he was never to tell anyone. I was very stern. But I figured as soon as he got home, he'd spill it to Mom and Dad, and that'd be that. Couldn't sleep that night, and next morning I expected the principal to be at the door of my classroom, along with some cops maybe, but no. I guess that little boy never told anybody. He was pretty quiet the rest of the year, too. Brian. His name was Brian.
Well, how did you hit him?
He was a smart-ass little kid. I mean, that wasn't all of it, obviously. I was dating this asshole named Ray at the time. He was making me crazy. I guess I just took it out on the kids.
What did he do, Ray?
Stupid stuff. Like, the day before I hit Brian, we were out in Ray's truck in the middle of the woods. We were arguing. I was right. He was wrong. I mean, it was a stupid argument we were having, but I was in the right and he was just being stubborn. So I said something to him like, "You're so full of shit. You know I'm right and you're wrong, and you're just not man enough to say so." Well, he pulled the truck over the side of the road, just slipped off into the woods. I sat there, stewing while the big rig zoomed by. Felt like he'd been gone forever. And when he came back, the sun hadn't gone down yet, so I guess really he didn't do anything, just walked in the woods. But when he came back, the way he was smirking, I just felt so humiliated. I mean, the way I'd sat there like a good little woman waiting for him to come back. I wish so much I'd gone out to hunt for him or hitchhiked out or just anything, just sit and wait so obediently for him. I went to bed that night, see then I woke up, see then I went to class, see then, and I wound up slapping Brian on the face.
God, Ray sounds like a real asshole.
He was a real asshole.
You ever see him around anymore?
Of course. He's born around here, lived around here his whole life. He'll die around here. I run into him at the Walmart or the gas station. No one ever leaves. Except you, I guess.
I like to leave. Go see someplace new, even if it's just in the middle of nowhere in Texas.
They always say, "Oh, they're just kids." And when I first started teaching, I'd say the same thing. But as the years went by, I'd think, well, aren't they just going to grow up to be assholes? I mean, what's it matter if they're small, if they act like the full-grown animals? And that day, little Brian was acting like such a little bastard, and the smirk on his face looked just like the one on Ray's when he'd come out of those woods knowing he'd embarrass me and piss me off. And I thought how good it would feel to slap that little smirk right off his face. And then I did slap it off, and it did feel good.
What was the fight about that you had with that guy?
It was nothing.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, but it was stupid.
Sure, most fights are stupid. What was it?
It was about whether Kirstie Alley was the first one on Cheers, or whether it was that woman who played Diana. Now, Ray thought Kirstie Alley came first. I mean, it didn't really matter, but I couldn't believe it. We'd watched the show together, but he was so sure Kirstie Alley had been on the show first.
What's Cheers?
What?
What's Cheers?
It's like one of the most popular sitcoms of all time. What year were you born?
1990.
Oh, Jesus. Well, doesn't matter. Just a sitcom. Wasn't really important enough to remember. Even if I did slap a 5-year-old over it.
Yeah, but that was over other stuff, not that.
May as well have been over that. When I started out, I loved kids, but I just got ruined. Being lonely all the time, stuck around here. My parents and my brother still live here. We hardly ever talk, but it isn't like I have anyone anywhere else. I don't have any money to move anywhere. I don't know how to do anything. I couldn't teach again. I couldn't stand it. I just work at the gas station.
Come on, you could figure something out.
You only think that because you're so young. Do you know my tits started sagging when I was only 30? Now I'm an old lady already.
Wendy, come on, maybe stop drinking now.
You're lucky, you know that? Getting to go off someplace, do something.
Sometimes I wish the opposite. I wish I could go back to... Never mind, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Get out of here. You were right. This is weird. Hell, I remember you crying when your mama dropped you off, for Christ's sake. I shouldn't be letting you chat me up in a bar, for Christ's sake.
You don't remember that. How could you remember that?
Maybe I'm a genius. Go on, get out of here. Making me feel like I really am old.
Miss Singleton.
You want to go on a field trip, honey?
Yes.
You got a permission slip from your mommy and your daddy?
Gosh, I'm sorry. I just didn't feel like telling them where I was going.
Oh, what are we going to do with you?
You could punish me.
Oh, no, I don't think so. You seem like such a good boy.
You think so?
I think so, but we'll see. You gonna mind me?
Yes, ma'am.
You gonna do everything I say?
Cross my heart and hope to die.
It'll be nice to teach again.